Like one thing and then another thing and then another thing? Anyone? Just me? Cool. Love that. All right, eliminate. So when we eliminate something, what is our goal? Take away, remove, get rid of. Good. In this case, what do we want our coefficient to be? What would mean that we have no x's or no y's? What was our goal? In the purple problem, we got rid of the y's. How did we know we got rid of the y's in the purple problem? How many of them did we get? 0. So our goal is to get either 0x or to get 0y. All right, so here's our first example. We're going to do 2 today. In our first example, we have negative 5x minus 14y equals 13. And then we have 10x plus 7y equals 16. And on this one, it's nice if we have them in standard form to be able to line up our x's, line up our y's, our c's. So as we work through this one, we're thinking, should we be adding or subtracting to get a 0x or a 0y? So let's look at our x's. Could I add or subtract to get a 0x? If I subtract, I'd get negative 15. What if I added? That'd be 5. In order to add or subtract, what do our coefficients kind of need to be? Kind of matching, yeah. They either need to be opposites or they need to be the same, right? Do I have matching or same coefficients? No. So what we need to do is we're going to multiply to get the same coefficient. In this case, we only have to multiply one of the equations. I'm going to multiply the top one. So I'm going to kind of do this big box around it, just to show my thinking. And I want to multiply by something to get my x's to match. That way I can add or subtract. So negative 5 times what would give me something either 10 or negative 10? Negative 5 times what is 10? 2. And we could either do positive 2 or negative 2, either one. I'm just going to keep it positive 2 because that's easier for my brain. But if I multiply one thing by 2, I have to multiply all the things by 2. So now I'm going to rewrite that. If your colored pencil is sharp enough, you can write in your colored pencil. I'm going to write in pencil and then just shade it in. So what's negative 5 times 2? Negative 10, so negative 10x. Negative 14 times 2. Yeah, whoa, nice. Negative 28y equals, and then 13 times 2, 26. Nice. And I'm going to just shade that in green to show that that's where we got that from, is from that multiplying. It's okay to multiply as long as if we multiply one part of the equation, we multiply the whole part by the equation. All right, now I'm going to keep that bottom equation the same. 10x plus 7y equals 16. And our goal now is what is going to be a 0, the x's or the y's? X. If I have negative 10 and positive 10, are we going to add those together or subtract? If I have a negative and a positive, we add. Yep, add. So if I add there, remember we're going to add all the way across. So I'm going to put a plus here and a plus here. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator for this one because I just want to make sure I'm right. Negative 28 plus 7. We get negative 21. You can put a plus sign in the middle there if you wanted to, or you could write it as minus 21. And then 26 plus 16. 42. All right, so we get negative 21y equals 42. We need to solve that. So my goal is to get y by itself. I need to undo this multiplying by negative 21. How do we undo multiply? Divide. Good. Divide by negative 21. It's 42 divided by negative 21. And y is negative 2. All right. Are we done? No, because the solution has how many parts? 2 parts, an x and a y. All right, now to find the x, we actually have 3 options. We can use this top equation, we can use the bottom equation, or we can even use this new top equation with this negative 10x minus 28y equals 26. You can use any of those 3. Old top. That one has a lot of negatives. I would use the old bottom, personally, but you can use either one. What do you guys think as a class, top or bottom? Bottom? Okay. So I'm going to, I don't know, there's not really a good way of organizing notes today, so it's 10x plus 7, and then it said y. What is our y? Negative 2 equals 16. That helps to draw an arrow so I can kind of think our thought process here. It's kind of a maze. All right, our goal is to solve that for x. But before we solve, what are we going to do? We're going to multiply, 7 times negative 2. Negative 14. Okay, I'll give you a second. Work ahead. Should feel confident in solving that 2-step equation. Goal is to get x by itself. All right, so to get x alone, are we going to start by undoing the 10 or undoing the negative 14? Good. And how do we undo a negative 14? Good. Adding plus 14. Nice job. If we do it to one side, other side. So 10x. What does it mean when 10 and x are touching like that? It means multiplication to start with. So just, we aren't quite solving yet. So multiply. Just keep that in your brain. What's 16 plus 14? 30. And then our last step, divide by 10. So x equals 3. All right, so then our last step is to write that as our solution. Solution is an ordered pair, meaning we have 2 numbers that need to go in order. The order matters. Why is it going to be 3, negative 2, Abdirman? Good. X is first and then y. All right, we have one more problem we're going to do today. It's going to look similar, but it's also going to look different. And you're probably like, what the heck? Why are we doing 2 completely different problems? Because we're still using multiplying. In this one, what was really nice is we just had to multiply one equation, because once I multiplied 5 by 2, the x's matched. Could I have multiplied the bottom equation? What else could I have gotten matching? Could I get the y's to match? 7 and 14? Yeah, I could have multiplied the bottom by 2 as well on that one. But there was no need to multiply both. All right, so as we go to number 2, this one's kind of the same, kind of different. So I'm going to do a little, I don't know, squiggle just to show that we're moving on. Same but different. Number 2. I'm also going to skip a line just that way I have some room to work. We have 10x plus 4y equals 30. And we have 7x plus 5y equals 10. Again, when you write these, it's really nice if you can get your x's and y's and your constants to line up. All right, so first thing we want to do is decide, is there something that we can match? Are we going to be able to match our x's or our y's? So can I multiply 7 by something to get a 10? Like a whole number? I could. It would be a fraction, but that sounds messy. What about my y's? Can I multiply 4 by something to get 5? Not really. So this time, instead of just multiplying one of them, we're going to have to multiply both of them. Okay, to do that, we're going to decide, do we want to get rid of our x's or do we want to get rid of our y's? We got rid of x's last time. Should we get rid of y's this time? Just for fun. Just try it out. Okay, so to get rid of y's, I'm going to take this top equation. And I need to think of a number that both 4 and 5 can go into. Yeah, and usually the easiest thing to do is to take this bottom number, this 5, and we're going to multiply the whole top by 5. And then for the bottom, to get the same number as the top, rather than multiplying by 5, because that wouldn't work, we're going to multiply the bottom by that coefficient from the top, 4. That way, on the top I'm doing 4 times 5, but on the bottom I'm doing 5 times 4. Will I get the same number? 4 times 5 and 5 times 4? Yeah, I'll get the same number. We could do other things. We could multiply by, we could have them both go into 40. We could do 4 times 10 and then 5 times 8. They get 40. We could figure out 100. We could do lots of things. To me, this is the easiest way to make it doing the same multiplication problem on top and bottom. On top, I'm doing 4 times 5. On the bottom, 5 times 4. I'm going to get the same thing. All right, so as I write this out, what's 10 times 5? 50. So 50x plus 4 times 5, 20, keep going, find your other one, equals, how did you know that? That took me a second to get, yeah, 150, nice job. And I'm going to shade that in green to show that's where we got our top equation. Nope. Should get the same answer. All right, now on the bottom, we're doing the same idea, but we're going to multiply everything by 4. So what is 7 times 4? Not quite, that'd be 8. 28. It's okay. Plus 5 times 4, 20y. And then 10 times 4, 40. So now my goal was to eliminate the y's. I want a 0 y. Sometimes for me it's helpful to write that 0 in, because now I can imagine, do I want to do 20 plus 20 to make 0 or 20 minus 20 to make 0? Yeah, I want to do minus, so I'm going to subtract all the way across. Minus, minus. All right, 50 minus 28 is 22. So 22x plus 0y. And then 150 minus 40. 110. So we get 22x equals 110. We don't need to write those y's anymore. Those y's are eliminated. And then we're solving that equation. So to undo multiplying by 22, we can divide. You can use that fraction line for division if you'd like to. $110 divided by 22. Having a tough time with the glare today. X equals 5. All right, for our second part, we can use any of the equations. We have 4 now to choose from. We can use the original top, original bottom, the new top, or the new bottom. We're going to be able to solve any of those to get y. So which one would you guys prefer, the original top, original bottom, new top, or new bottom? Original top? Okay. So we have 10x plus 4y equals 30. And our goal is to find y. We already found x. What is x? 5. So 10 times 5 plus 4y. All right, I'm going to give you about 90 seconds. Try and get that solved. Find your answer. Nice job. If you're a little confused what to do, take a look back at the last example. All right, what's our first step in solving this? Good, simplify. 10 times 5 is 50, plus 4y equals 30. Then if our goal is to get y by itself, are we going to undo the 4 or the 50? Yeah, 4 is the best friend. That's that coefficient. So we undo it adding 50. So we're going to subtract 50 from both sides. So 4y, 50s are gone. 30 minus 50, we can think about it as 50 minus 30 is 20, but we're doing a smaller number minus a bigger number, so it's going to be negative. And then to undo that 4, divide. And you can either use that division symbol or you can use the fraction symbol, either way. Y equals negative 20 divided by 4. Get negative 5. So for our solution, negative 5, 5, or 5, negative 5? Got 5, negative 5. All right. For your quick check today, your quick check is a little bit different. What it's going to ask you is kind of just the planning stage. At no point are you actually going to find the solutions. So I'll give you a hint. Photo math is not going to help you on your quick check today. Okay? What you're going to be doing is you're going to be figuring out these planning steps. So you're going to multiply the top equation or the bottom equation. What would you multiply it by? And then what would that eliminate? And you can kind of play around with those steps and kind of figure out, maybe work backwards if you want to. Okay? You could start by figuring out what your equations would be, and then what did you multiply by, things like that. All right, quick check is in Schoology. Rest of the time is for you to get that done.